If you are tired of asking and asking and asking and even begging for the things that you want in life, and you have been getting no answers and nothing has been happening in your favor, then continue to watch till the end of this video, because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today, is how we can shift from this place of asking, groveling, or maybe even in our magical practice, shift things to where things are actually happening for us. I like to use the phrasing, make life happen for you rather than allowing life to happen to you. That's our default conditioning, is that we are set up in this life, and life just happens. We have fate, we have a timeline that we live, and everything's predestined for us. And that does not have to be true. That's kind of your default factory setting. But the deeper truth of this is that you absolutely can shape your reality. You can shape your life in order to live a life that you truly wish to live, that is fulfilling, that will bring you love, happiness, joy, whatever the experience is that you wish to experience. And that doesn't mean it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, but you do have control over your life. So you need to understand that. But in order to access this control over your life, you have to have authority. And from authority comes sovereignty, right? You're no longer the servant, but the master. And the path of the magician is the path of learning to control the mind and the emotions, rather than having these things control us, to rule over us as our master. And when you can do this, you're going to be far more powerful than pretty much most of the planet. And that's not from an egoic sort of, hey, look at me, I'm so powerful. This is literally just so you can have a pretty damn good experience in life. And so that's really the core of what I like to talk about. And so if you keep listening, we're going to get into this, and I want to give you an actual practical guide for really stepping into this role of being the God of your universe, so to speak. And so I want to quote a phrase. The Hebrew phrase, Ayeh, Asher, Ayeh, means I am that I am, or I will be what I will be. And on the surface, we think, oh, that's talking about God of the universe, and, you know, sort of a nod to that. When you use this phrase, I am that I am, in reference to yourself, this is a declaration to all existence. And it's a rebellion at the same time. It's a refusal to accept fate as it is written for you. It is a declaration that I am that I am, that I rule my destiny, that I create my destiny. And that can be powerful. And when you quote this to yourself, when you speak this out to the universe, this is what you are embodying. It is that authority, that true sovereign authority, the authority of the Creator itself within you. And so you have to understand that you're not placed here to just go along, get along, and let life happen to you, and you have to play the hand you're dealt. Obviously, we've all started with a different hand to play. We've all been given a different set of rules, so to speak. Some of us are born with the way our brains operate, the way our bodies are made, the country that we're brought up in, the situation that we're brought up in. And I believe that that's part of the life experience that you are going through, possibly even chosen to go through. But if you're here, if you're watching this video, it's because you have an interest in ruling your own life, to really step into a position where you create change, even supernatural change in your life. And this isn't some motivational, disciplinary, whatever. I want to talk about the good stuff. You know, how can we actually supernaturally change our life and influence the things that happen, even on a daily basis and an overall basis? That's gonna come with authority, right? When you're asking or pleading, please let this happen. You know, if you will it, let it be so. No matter what walk of life you're from, no matter what God you serve, and even if you're on the magician's path where you've sort of embodied that role and you've acknowledged yourself as an equal, it's important that you take yourself from a state of asking and place yourself in a state of commanding. And so, when we command our reality, it sets a completely different tone. It puts out a completely different vibration, and it causes us to be in resonance with that which we desire. When you are asking, pleading, groveling, begging, hoping, wishing, all of these things, what that's doing is sending a signal to your subconscious that I am somehow not worthy of what it is I desire. And not only that, but I don't truly believe it's possible. I'm only hopeful of the possibility that it might be. So if you can command your reality when you step into authority, you are now acknowledging, you're placing yourself in resonance with anything can be possible for me. In fact, everything is possible for me, and I'm coming to get it. This can be a lot to wrap your head around, and so that's why I want to sort of break it down in practical. I don't know that this is not necessarily a step-by-step process. It is an overall embodiment. I wrote a short book about it, and you can check the link in my bio, pick that up. It is called The Book of Command. And it's literally about how to get what you want in your life, to stop asking, to start employing magic, right? That's what we're here for, is magic. We are using magic to direct our lives as we see fit. And this video is sort of intended to be a companion to that book, which is it's a spell book. Ultimately, you go through it and there's different spells, and we're starting out as just sort of putting together the mindset behind all of this, and then when we actually get into working the spells are meant for you to start seeing reality change before your eyes, and which is also allowing you to step into that authority more and more, and you realize, oh, I can do this. You know, if you can turn a leaf by commanding a leaf, then you can conjure a storm. And I use that metaphorically, and I do believe that it is possible to conjure a storm. Before anybody, tries to throw that out. This book isn't about conjuring storms. This book is about learning to conjure what you want in life. And so there's a simple path to that in all things, in magic and in life. You don't shoot for the moon and the stars and try and claim something huge. You're not going to cast a spell to try and win the lottery. I think that's silly. It's ridiculous, right? Because even with magic applied to it, it is still a 1 in 7 million chance of winning the lottery. So that means that could take years and years and years and years of trying to go to just the right place at the right time and getting just that lucky ticket, or getting the right number, whatever it is. However, I've never played the lottery. You get what I mean. So instead, what we could do is apply this magic, apply these spells toward things that are attainable. And not so attainable that it could happen without the magic and it's going to anyway. That's not magic. Right? That's pointless. It would be pointless to cast a spell so that you can eat breakfast tomorrow morning. Unless you're in a situation where you think breakfast might not be coming. There's a time and a place for everything, right? But for most people, they know they're going to wake up and eat breakfast tomorrow. They know they're going to have 3 meals tomorrow. What I teach in magic, and I'm not the only one, when we structure a path toward ascension in growing in our power, you are reaching just beyond what's normal. Okay? So if that's money, right? How much do you make roughly per week now? Reach just beyond that with the spell, right? Don't cast a spell trying to get $50,000. That was my very first spell, and trust me, it flopped. I did not get $50,000. I did get $50 extra when I casted my first spell, and that was much more attainable, and it was outside. It was $50 more than I had in my set paycheck every week, and it did not come through my paycheck, though that is a way that this magic can operate. What you want to do is go right up to the edge of where things are and cast your spell just beyond that. And what happens is there is a window there, and that thing will come through to you, and usually in a very shocking short amount of time. Now, there are spells and workings that you're going to do at some point it is a ridiculous command for something crazy to happen. All right, and that's okay. That's okay to use that on occasion. There is a risk involved, and that risk is when that thing doesn't happen in a short amount of time, or when you're wanting it to happen, it can start to cause doubt to circulate. If you don't know the signs to look for and just little hints, the voice of magic. If you don't know how to follow the voice of magic and see, oh, the numbers are lining up today. Oh, this happened, that happened. Things are right on track, headed towards this thing. If you don't know how to follow that, then stick to much smaller scale things and work your way up through that. Right? If you can use magic to bring yourself to a new financial level, get a promotion at your job, and it's a lot easier to reach that much further because your attainability window opens wider. Okay? And when our window of attainability opens wider, we have more possibilities that open up for us, right? It might have been $50 a few weeks ago, but now you got the promotion. It's not that far of a stretch to command $500 to come to you. You see what I mean? And we're just using money magic as an example here. You know, you might use magic to influence people, right? That might start with the simpler things, in influencing someone to call you or text you this week. And then you can move up. You know, what if you send out a job application and you need them to see you stand out from everybody else, all the other applications? You can now influence the hiring department of a said facility and have them choose you over everybody else. I've seen that happen before. You know, you can work legal systems, influence court cases. The possibilities are literally limitless. The limitation falls on your authority and your positioning in life. So you can climb your sort of life ladder and restructure your life to where you're able to reach out farther and farther beyond. And what you've got to do is build your knowing. I don't want to use faith here, right? That's what I mean. And when I say faith, talking to myself, I know what I mean by when I say faith. But this isn't a blind faith. This is knowing that when I speak these words, when I open this sigil, when I light this candle, this is going to happen for me. Right? So, in order to exercise this, you do this often. And it goes from a leap, a blind leap of, you don't know for sure until it's happened. But you can take it from a blind leap to, exactly what's going to happen when you speak it. And the more you do this, the more that strengthens and crystallizes, and you become more in resonance with this mastery, this authority, this sovereignty. And then you realize that there really is no limit for you. Right? Even as, say you're working with these spirits, and at first you're thinking, I call them the spirit, and the spirit does this for me, they bring this to me, that's awesome, they're far more powerful than I am. Then you have this realization at some point that you're equal to the spirits. And then at some point in time, you start to realize that you hold more power than the spirits. And it's this crazy transfiguration that happens. So, all I'm saying here is close the book, stop watching the videos, get out there and work. Use this magic, wield it. Watch what happens. Never approach this from, I hope this works, or let's see if this is going to work. No, go into this and know that whatever you speak when the candle is lit, whatever you speak once the sigil is open, when you're at the climax of the ritual, your words that vibrate out of your mouth will shape reality according to your will. And then watch. This amazing thing happens when you cast a spell and you see that spell come into full fruition. There's this feeling I can't explain. It's this excitement, it's this buzzing feeling. Hold on to that feeling. Remember that feeling. Use that feeling in your next spells, in your next rituals, and watch what happens. Watch how much more powerful those grow. So the main outline of just about all magic, spell casting, and not everybody's going to see it this way. I'm talking from a magician standpoint. That when you have the candle lit, there's this moment that comes, right, when you've silenced the world around you and you've built this sort of ecosystem around you of this magical environment, right? You feel these energies rushing around and the room is shifting. Maybe the room disappears altogether and it's just you and the candle. It's you and the sigil. There's a saying that you have to bring your emotion into it. You have to master your emotions and be able to feel this emotional output towards something. That is one thing I encourage you to work towards. Work towards tapping into your emotions, because I promise they're going to empower your magic in ways beyond belief. But in particular, what you're doing is you're seeing the final outcome of your desire. You're seeing what you want. Maybe that's in a snapshot. Maybe you're seeing that sort of play out, almost as if it's a memory, as though you've already done it. And as you're doing that, you're feeling, that emotion of relief, maybe celebration, happiness that this has happened for you, satisfaction. Emotion is what is communicating to the unseen world. And as you're doing this, when you say, right, not in present tense, this is going to happen. You say, this is happening, right? You speak it. I am healed, not I will be healed, right? What are you doing? You're giving it a time, you're giving it some future time constraint. There's not even a constraint. It can happen at some point during the future, right? I am healed means that you're embodying the healing now. I have $2,000. You have it now. You're not pushing it into some unknown future. When you experience the emotion of this and you speak it, it crystallizes. And you've taken that desire, that intention, all of that, and you've moved it outward. It's now outside of you. Blow out the candle, you forget all about it, it's gone. It is in particle form. Now it's able to become wave form, and it's able to travel to that some point in the future whenever things unfold that allow for this to come through, right? The right people make the right moves. You've influenced 1,000 minds, and maybe you get a check in the mail. Maybe I am healed. That has now started to resonate through your body, and the structure of your cellular structure starts to reshape. Your brain is now assuming that it is healed. And there's you can look at some crazy stories on that. People actually denying that they have tumors or whatnot, and actually causing the tumors to shrink. It's not about living in denial, but it's about choosing a different reality that is not the same as the current reality you're experiencing. So when you apply these, and it's very, very simple, you don't need to overcomplicate it. When you apply these and just move with it, right? I have a job promotion, right? Go to work and embody the employee that's going to get the promotion, right? If you've been lazy in the past, take your job more seriously. Take action. Go, if you feel like you're in that place where you deserve it, go speak to the boss. The spell is already working. Allow the magic to work. Go speak to the boss, and I guarantee you're going to get that promotion. And another thing too, in your wording, try and keep it as short and simple as possible. Be very precise about what you want. Spend hours, days putting this together if you need to. The more detailed and scattered you try and make something, the more you limit the magic. I'm going to be honest with you. I have $2,000 now. Not, I'm going to get $2,000 through this avenue. It's going to come in a bonus check. Well, you've just limited that. You've limited that command. Bonuses don't get handed out till Christmas. Have fun waiting 11 months. Okay? So, take these things into consideration. And I'm hoping we're coming up on the 24-minute mark. So, just go out and work this stuff. Just do it. Put what I've told you into practice. And I promise you're going to see change. You're going to see results in your life. If you want to pick up my book, it's in the link below. Again, I urge you to do that. If this is the video that's resonating with you, the book has already helped so many people. And if this video touches you right here, that book is going to help you too. Be sure to check it out. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.